Before you rewire your subconscious mind, you need to understand first how it works. There's a lot of misconceptions and, frankly, just information out there that make the mind seem so complex that it's almost unattainable. And then I've come across other content that is so wishy washy that although it makes sense, it's like, how do you even put that into practice? Where do you begin? So, I want to give you a technique that is simple, that is easy, that is understandable. But you first have to understand the way the subconscious works. When it comes to the mind, we have what we are aware of, which we're going to call our conscious mind. And then we have the subconscious or the unconscious. And so I just want you to think of it as these two dynamics, that which you are aware of in the mind and that which you are unaware of in the mind, what is playing in the background. Now, 90% of everything that we do that drives us in life, the way that we show up in the world, the way that we respond, the way that we interact with people, even our own inner dialogues, and the way that we feel all comes from the subconscious. And you can also think about the conscious mind as kind of your will. So, for anyone that has ever, let's say, been on a diet or had a fitness plan in mind, a fitness goal, they wanted to, I don't know, get in shape, then you know that you are primarily depending on your willpower to keep it going, right? Have you ever set a New Year's resolution goal for yourself and started out strong, going hard for maybe the first few days, maybe even you got into the first week, the first 2 weeks, and then boom, you fall off? That is because you are depending on your conscious mind or your conscious will. And the reality is that your subconscious mind will always overpower your conscious mind. It will always outwill your will because that's what's really running the show. So, when it comes to personal development, we might have all of this knowledge in our minds, and yet we can't seem to put it into action or apply it to real life. And that's because it hasn't synced into the subconscious. So I want to break down the subconscious as easy as possible. The subconscious speaks in a language that is feeling and pictures. So think about little children, right? Think about babies, think about kids. Maybe you have some of your own, or maybe you can remember back to when you were young, before we had language, when we were pretty much in a state of hypnosis 24/7. Did we have language? Did we speak words? No, we felt emotion and we saw pictures. And so that, my friends, is the language of the subconscious mind. When it comes to rewiring the mind, you must create as many pictures associated with that which you wish to call in or manifest or bring to reality for yourself. There needs to be positive pictures around it, images that you can see, whether it's with your physical eyes or with your inner eyes. And once you have the picture, you want to create the emotion around it. Okay. So if you are rewiring your mind towards achieving that weight loss goal, you want to think about how it will feel once you already have it. And if you've heard that before, yes, it is true, but sometimes it's difficult to do that, to picture how it actually feels. So what I want you to do, and here's the juicy bit, here's the power in this video here, is I want you to think back to a time in your life where you wanted something. You wanted that thing so, so bad. And you did whatever it took to get it. Once you found that memory, I want you to let yourself relive that memory. Tell the story, whether out loud or to yourself. Really put yourself back in that moment when you achieved it, when you reached that goal. How did it feel? And that is what you let in. You let in that feeling. You keep going back to that memory of feeling like, I did it. I did it. And that is how you rewire the mind. So if you take that feeling and then apply it to whatever you want, okay, sitting with that feeling, thinking about your goal day after day, because the mind does learn by repetition. And if you are someone who's already in this space of personal development, then you probably heard this, but it takes 21 days, they say, to form a habit. It actually takes 21 days to form a strong enough neural pathway in the brain that the old ones atrophy and die off. And then you're left only with this new circuitry, this empowering circuitry, which is going to affect your neurology, your chemicals in your body, your hormones. Your stress is going to go down. Your happy hormones are going to go up, all of the good things, but it has to come through the subconscious mind, or it has to penetrate the subconscious mind in order for it to stick. So try this out. Share this with your friends. If you enjoyed this information, please leave me a comment. Leave me a comment. I want to share more on here about how you can really use the tools and the practicality of this information so that you can make real changes in your life. But if you do need a guide, or you do have some heavy stuff that you need to let go of, we need each other. We need guides. I had a client the other day that's been in this space probably for longer than I have. And he worked with a shaman for many years, he mentioned, and the work that we did together was so profound. And he said, I suspected that it was there, but I don't think I could get myself quite as deep and as far as we got together. And that's the same for all of us, for myself included. So if you feel like you have some heaviness to heal, some trauma to kind of uproot or to release, reach out. I offer a consultation call on my website, healingwithjenna.com. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you on the next video.